for it, or will the tax element in the Gang of Six plan be an instant deal breaker? First reaction now from Chris Chocola. He is the president of the Club for Growth. Chris, I'm sure you heard what Senator Coburn just told us. That would be a reduction in income tax rates, a consolidation into three brackets, and a reduction of corporate tax rates as well. Now, you're a conservative. I presume you'd go along with that tax element in the Gang of Six plan.
Well, Stuart, that alone sounds pretty good. And, you know, at the Club for Growth, we've got a long and very productive relationship with Senator Coburn. We have a lot of respect and confidence in him. So it's comforting to hear him talk about it. But the devil's in the details. We bring some level of skepticism until we understand those details. As another great senator, Senator Jim DeMint, once said, you know, he's never seen a bipartisan bill that shrinks the size of government. So we'd have to see the details before we would decide whether we would support this or not.
Does it sound good? I mean, I know I haven't got the intimate details right there, but I got to say, for conservatives, this would sound, any kind of reduction of federal income tax rates would have to be a plus for conservatives, wouldn't it? And well, it would have to be a negative for Democrats and the administration.
Well, lowering the marginal rates, lowering the corporate rate are pro-growth moves that we would support.
Sure.
But it's a balanced, I'm sure it's a balanced approach. Let's see what kind of revenue raisers, if any, they have in there, what kind of spending reductions and how certain those are. There's always promises, but we're not interested in promises. We're interested in what's delivered to make sure that we get on a fiscal path that's sustainable over the long run.
So you prefer the cut, cap and balance bill, which is going to be voted on, I think, in a couple of hours in the House. But I would have to say, sir, that is almost certainly going down to defeat in the Senate and faces a presidential veto. It's more symbolic than real, isn't it?
Well, you know, this started in January, and everybody said there's no way it could even get to the House. It wouldn't get the Republican leadership. Now I think Senator McConnell and Speaker Boehner have both endorsed it and signed on to it. So it's come a long way. We haven't given up. It's really not a question of getting Democrat or Republican support. It's getting the American people's support, because the ultimate winners and losers here are the American people and the fiscal future of this country. And the Cut, Cap, and Balance plan is the only plan that really recognizes reality. It gets us on a permanent fix to make sure that Congress is handcuffed to balance the budget. They've proven over for generations they cannot balance a budget without outside limitations on their spending, and a balanced budget amendment would do that.
Speaker Boehner, in reaction to the news from the Gang of Six plan, he said that he was focused on the cut, cap and balance legislation today. So Speaker Boehner is focused on that. But I want to draw your attention to the McConnell plan. Now, that's the other backup plan that's around. You don't like that at all, do you?
Well, of the three we're talking about, from what I know about them, it's the worst plan, because it basically results in the Republicans opening the door and asking President Obama to walk through it, to raise the debt ceiling with no fundamental reforms, no spending reductions, no balanced budget amendment, and just trying to blame him for it. And I think, you know, if Leader McConnell wants to believe that he can open the door, let President Obama walk through it, and the Republicans' fingerprints aren't on that doorknob, he's sorely mistaken. That's a smoke and mirrors with legislation. It's a brilliant tactical move inside the Beltway, but I think it would be very not appreciated by real Americans outside the Beltway.
All right. Chris Chocola, president of the Club for Growth, thanks for joining us, sir. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Stuart.
I'm saying it bluntly.